Day in the year 2003, and my name is Gregory H. Arabian. I'm a major discharged from the United States Air Force, and I'm the oral history director for Post 41, Corporal Paul S. Sabounjian Post in Watertown, Massachusetts. It's a post of AMVETS. And today we're taking the oral history of Toros Sabounjian. Is that right?
That's right.
Toros? And you've been a past commander of Post 41.
Twice.
Twice past commander?
Yeah, past commander and also state commander.
Uh-huh. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about your oral history so far as just experience in the service is concerned. You have two brothers who are also in the service, is that right?
That's right.
One's deceased, which is
Yeah,
Misak,
yeah.
and the other is here today to be in the parade of
Yeah.
Memorial Day, which is
Meet on.
May 26, 2003, and Miran is here with you.
That's right.
And Toros, you were a member of the United States Army, is that correct?
No, Air Force.
In the Air Force?
Yeah, we Air Transport Command.
Air Transport.
ATC, yeah.
Oh, very good, very good.
ATC stands for All Time Civilian.
All right. Now, when did you join the Air Force?
1942.
Mm-hmm. 42.
42.
Okay. And that was 1 year after Pearl Harbor.
That's right.
Why did you join?
Because I was working at the Watertown Arsenal, and at that time they were drafting everybody. And they were telling them what they wanted. This way they said, if I volunteer to join, I could pick what I want. So I decided I wanted to go into the service. I pick what I want the Air Force. So there's a story behind that.
Hold on. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, sure. I don't want to get in the act.
Okay, sorry for the short interruption.
That's all right.
All right. So rather than be drafted, you volunteered to join the United States Air Force.
Yeah, I went to the Air Force.
Actually, in those days, it was the Air Corps of the U.S. Army.
That's right. That's what you're right.
Right. So what were you doing in the arsenal?
I was an electrician there.
You're an electrician?
Yes.
How long had you been an electrician?
I did for a few years. I was there. 5 years I was working at the Watertown Arsenal. Yeah. So when I found out they were drafting everybody, I said, I want this. I want to take what I want to take.
Okay.
So I decided to go into the Air Force and join. So I went and joined the Air Force. And I came home and I told my father I joined the Air Force. He said, you're stupid, he said. I said, why, Dad? He said, you're up there. He said, what if they shoot you? If something happens, you're nothing to land on, nothing to do, you're stupid.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I went back and I joined the, I went back for the Seabees, because I was in the construction business. And I figured that Seabees would be the closest thing to construction at that time.
Oh, yeah.
The Navy. So I joined the, and I came back, I told my father, I'm not in the Air Force, I'm in the Seabees. You're still stupid, he said, you're on the water now. What if they top you and shoot you where you got no place to go?
Okay.
I said, okay, don't worry about it, everything will work out fine. So finally I ended up with the Air Force. At that time, we used to call it the 40th Ferry Command. At that time.
The 40th Ferry Command?
That's what, yeah.
Okay.
What they used to do, they used to have women pilots from here ferry the planes over to England.
Uh-huh. What kind of aircraft?
We had DC-3s.
Uh-huh.
It was C-47s, actually, they called them at the time.
What was your role in the Ferry Command?
Well, I finally became a crew chief.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You were a crew chief on a DC-3?
Yes, I was a crew chief. The thing I wanted to become a pilot because I couldn't, I had a handicap. I couldn't physically make the grade. I wanted to become a pilot. So they said, the next best thing for you is to come. So they sent me to school all over. I went all over the school. I went to Las Vegas, Nevada school. And then they shipped me down south, went to Coral Gables.
Would that be Stead Air Force Base in Las Vegas?
The what?
Where did you go in Nevada? They have a Stead Air Force Base out there.
No, this is, I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of the name right now.
Okay. And what did you do out there in Las Vegas?
Well, part of it was basic up there. We did a lot of the basic and a lot of the training.
Was that the marching
Yeah.
and so forth? What about your training as a crew chief, to be a crew chief?
Well, they sent me back to Florida, Coral Gables, and Emmy Riddle School of Aviation. Went down there.
They didn't have a military school of aviation, did they?
Not really.
They had to send you to these
Different, yeah.
civilian...
Then from Coral Gable, they shipped me up to Chicago. I went to school out there. And then when I went and worked for the Eastern Airlines,
Oh,
they taught us what on the Eastern Airlines was part of the plan.
so you trained with Eastern Airlines in
Yeah,
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago.
While you were still in the service?
Yes.
I see.
We become a student of this. And then from then they shipped us back down south. And then being a young one, and I said, I want to go overseas. I don't want to stay here. I keep fighting it. They finally said, get rid of them, send them overseas. So they finally shipped me overseas. I went to China, Burma, India, CBI they called it at the time.
CBI?
Yeah, CBI.
China, Burma, and India.
Yeah.
I see.
So they sent me out to the jungles, the Assam jungles. There's the bottom of the Himalayan mountains, and we built an air base out there. And while I was out there, I enjoyed it because I become I got into special forces out there. And part of my job was to show movies and so forth, and entertainment. And when we had the USO come through, it was my job to make sure they were housed and they were taken care of. It was very nice, everything was fun, and they gave me the opportunity to travel all over India and went into China. In fact, I was there when they started to build what they call the Burma Road. They just started building that. And what we used to do with our we call them C-47, which DC-3s. We used to load them up with provisions and ammunition. But we had no guns aboard our ships. And we had two things striking against us. One was the fact that if we flew over the mountains, nature was against us. And then the other thing was the Jap Zeros. We had nothing to fight back with. So it was really rough. But it was nice. We enjoyed every bit of it. I had an opportunity to visit all over India.
Now, going back a little bit, it's kind of important to note that civilian businesses were recruited to help the military.
That's right.
Military had no schools to teach you how to be a crew chief, to teach you how to fly, to teach you how to do anything. And what they did was they recruited the civilian agencies to help the military learn their skills.
At that time.
So this happened not only with Embry-Riddle, that taught you flight, but also in Chicago. What did they teach you there? Electrician?
No.
With the Eastern Airlines?
With the airlines, yeah.
Right. And where did you learn your CB skills and your electrician skills?
Well, basically in Florida.
In Florida.
Embry-Riddle.
Embry-Riddle down there as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after all of, how long did this initial training in the United States take place?
I would say a couple of years.
2 years?
Yeah, probably. Not even
From
that
42 to 44?
No, because 44, 43, I can't remember now.
42 and 43.
43, 44, I'm sure I was overseas.
I see. All right.
So it took about better than a year.
So you were really anxious to get into the
I wanted to,
activity.
yeah, being young at the time and hot-headed.
How old were you then?
What was I? 20 or 24, I don't remember.
In your early 20s?
Yes.
Because today most of the young people would say, how can I get a nice soft job? But you wanted to get right into it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Now, from the States, you went directly over to the China, Burma, India theater?
Well, yeah. What they did was they didn't fly us over. They took us over by boat. They took us and we went to. I got into Morocco, Casablanca.
Oh yeah.
We went to Casablanca, and we got some training there too.
Okay.
Out in the airfield. And then from there, from Casablanca, we went through Cairo, and we went to India. We went to India.
Now in Casablanca, what do you recall what airfield you went to? Because I served there.
I can't
I served
remember.
at City Slimane over there.
I don't know. I can't remember the airfield, but we were at the airfield. We remember being there.
All right. Was there any? Did you see any combat there?
No, I didn't see any combat.
Okay.
No.
So you got training in Casablanca.
Yes.
Training in where else?
Yeah, we will.
No, I'm from Casablanca. You went to
From Casablanca, we went right into the jungles.
into the jungle.
Assam jungle, they call it in India, Assam jungles.
ASSAM.
Yeah, the foot of the Himalayan mountains.
I see.
That's where we were.
And you enjoyed it there.
Oh yes,
Why?
it was different. And being young, you know, it was different.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Did you have any problem with the insects, malaria, and things like that? Diseases?
No, not really.
No. All right. So you're delivering supplies in a C-47. Now, you were not a crew chief then, were you?
I was, yes.
You were a crew chief?
Yeah,
Okay.
crew chief.
And as you were, is it fair to say that you were flying the hump, so to speak?
I wasn't flying. The pilots were flying.
Yeah, I know, but you were.
My job was to make sure that the plane was fit to fly.
I see.
So tune them up and get them ready to fly. Make sure everything was all right.
How high do those planes fly? How high did you fly when you were flying over the delivering supplies along the Burma Road?
We try to figure it out.
Himalaya is pretty high
Yeah,
mountain.
I know that. They had their route they used to take.
Did you have turbulence, or was it?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it got too bad, we couldn't make it. We used to take it, throw some of the supplies out to lighten the load on the plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had to get rid of some of the lighten the load out.
And how many people did you have aboard your plane?
We had 5 of us.
Pilot, co-pilot, crew
Pilot,
chief,
navigator,
navigator.
and the crew chief, and 2 others.
Okay.
5 or 6.
Loadmaster, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you land along this Burma Road when you delivered those supplies?
We didn't go to we didn't land on the, we had our own air bases in India that we built.
In India?
In India, we built that's the purpose we went overseas. They said you go 6 months overseas, build the air bases, you'll be back. And we didn't get back to 45.
So you went 6 months, you built the air bases, and you stayed there.
Well, we had no choice. They didn't bring us back.
Whereabouts in India were the bases?
Yeah,
Do you recall?
yeah. I'm trying to figure. They were in the Assam jungle. Wait, I'm trying to can't think of the name right now.
Was it pretty close to Burma?
Yes, wasn't
Okay.
too far away. If you didn't fly, you could go with the trucks. There are roads leading through the road.
I see. Now, if I recall correctly, India was neutral in these times, or was it? Or India was part of the British Empire, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
at
it
the
couldn't have
time,
been
yes.
neutral.
We had British troops there.
Yeah, you did.
Yes,
Okay. Any problem with security in your base?
not really.
You had a lot of security?
Yeah, they were good. They were nice.
You had no guerrilla warfare, so to speak?
No. The only problems we had there was that if you had a native working for you during the day, at nighttime you didn't know who he was. Whether he was against you or with you.
Oh, really?
So you had to be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you flew these trips out of India,
Yeah.
and did you fly to bases over the Burma Road, or did you just jettison your supplies off the
No,
Burma?
they were bases they flew into China.
Into China?
That's to China, yeah. We
Okay.
dropped the supplies off. I don't know where, but we dropped the supplies, they came back.
So you went from India all the way to China. Do you recall whereabouts how far into China?
I don't.
And then you went to China, and then you came back to, was it a back and forth like a shuttle deal?
That's what it was, yes.
Okay. What is your opinion of the DC-3? A dependable craft?
I liked it. I liked it very much. It's very nice, very nice.
They say it has trouble those engines have trouble starting sometimes.
The ones we had was only 2 props.
2 props.
2 props. They got 4 now.
They have
Out of
4.
4, they got 4 now. What we had was only 2 at the time.
Describe for me what you do as a crew chief on a DC-3.
Well, just like if you had a car, you tune your motor up on the car, make sure the brakes and everything worked. It's the same idea. You make sure the engines were functioning right. All the electrical meters and so forth on your plane that was the basic. Make sure everything was functioning.
Did they have self-starting engines? You didn't need outside
No,
power
we didn't
to
need a
start the
crack.
engine.
We didn't need a we didn't need a crack.
Do you have solenoids to
Yeah.
start the engines by themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't need a crack like you're in a car like the Ford. You crank
Yeah.
it. No, we didn't need.
What was the biggest problem you had in the DC-3 maintaining it? Do you recall?
To make sure the fuel lines didn't get clogged up.
Uh-huh.
You had to be very careful of that. Make sure
Okay.
you had clean fuel.
Recall how much fuel you took on?
No, I don't remember.
Did you have auxiliary tanks in your trip?
Yes, they did have them, yes.
Yeah.
You had a switch, you could switch over
You
to
could
it
switch auxiliary tanks.
if you had to, if you're running low on anything.
And How long was the trip from India to China? How long did that take?
I'd say about 6 hours maybe.
6 hours one way and 6 hours the other?
Probably, yeah.
I see. And any idea how many pounds of
I
supplies
have
you
no
carried?
idea.
You carried ammunition, food, fuel?
For us, yeah. For the troops in China. For the China was our ally. So we went in there to fight, to give them supplies so they could fight the Japs.
Okay. Did you keep in touch with your brothers at this time?
Not really. I kept in touch with them. I wrote back home to my family, to my sister, and they well, basically,
So you were able to converse with your family?
with my family, and then from then I used to write to my brothers once in a while. They were in Europe, both of them.
Both of them.
Both of
But
them.
you were in the China, Burma, India. You had no desire to be with them at that time?
Well, I did to a point, but I had my own field to worry about.
I see. Okay. Tell us how life was in India.
It wasn't bad. It was good. Yeah.
Were you in a closed compound, or did you interact with the people?
You know, we had natives come and work for us. We had our own base. We had our own housing, and they used to come in there. And we used to in order to control the natives.
Yeah.
We used to call them Gurkha. We used to get Gurkha guys from Burma. They used to call them. And they were real fierce fighters.
Yes.
And the natives of China, India, would be afraid of them. And we would tell them what we wanted, the guards, and they would tell the natives what to do, and the natives would do it.
So you had Gurkhas, you had Gurkha troops surrounding your area?
Helping us, yeah.
Helping you?
Yeah.
I see. And they would
They would control the natives.
They would control the natives,
Yeah.
and tell the natives what to do.
Yeah.
I see. And I suppose, did you have hospitals and nurses?
Yeah, we had them, but they were civilians.
You had a sick bay, so to speak.
Yeah, that's all it was. Then we had the Red Cross come in. The Red Cross had their, used to serve us coffee and donuts.
And what about, you said, you had mentioned that you had some duties with regard to entertainment. What kind of entertainment did you have?
Well, show movies. Movies were one. And then we used to have, I'm trying to think of some of the people that came on entertainment from Hollywood that came over to entertain.
Hold on just a minute.
Go ahead.
Hold on just a minute. Okay, we're back on the record. All right, we were talking about the entertainment.
Yeah, they showed various, show movies. And the funny thing about that, what I remember distinctly was, we had colored troops that come in.
Yeah.
Negroes. They
Yeah.
used to come to our place, and they used to mingle with the whites.
Really?
Yeah, and we built an indoor theater, and they used to sit. And after a while, the officers didn't want the colored people with us, so they built another base that's further down the road, and had their own base.
So they did have segregation.
They did, yes. They moved them out of there.
How did you feel about
I
that?
felt bad. I mean, what the hell? They're with us. They said, no, we don't want them.
Really?
They didn't want them because they said, we can't stand their odor. I said, you think they can stand our odor?
Really?
Their body odor. They couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Where did these colored troops? What were they doing? In a construction or
No, they were ground troops.
ground troops?
Yeah, they used to come.
So they had them. They forced them to build their own camp.
They built a camp someplace and they had their own outfit, their own theater and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was segregation. in
Yes,
those
there
days.
was at that time.
Okay. Now, so far as the colored troops are concerned, you had interaction with them?
Well, not really. It's just when they used to come to the theater, that's all.
I see.
That's
Okay.
the only connection I have with them.
Did you work with the colored troops?
Not really, no.
Okay. So your job was basically shuttling back and forth supplies
Yeah,
from India to China.
that's
Is
right.
that right?
That's right.
And you had duties on the base itself,
Yes, right, we had that. I had good, yes.
provide entertainment, and you probably had additional duties.
I had that to do, and take care of the the guests that used to come into the Air Force, the base.
How was your base in India supplied? For the Navy or the Air Force?
So we supplied our own. We had our own planes bring stuff in.
You had your own planes?
Yeah, for us.
They were C-47s as well?
Yes, for us.
Okay. And how was the food?
Our food was very good.
Really?
Yeah.
What's a typical meal?
Well, typical meal, we had, like Thanksgiving, we had turkey, fresh turkey, used to bring fresh turkey and
Really?
cranberry sauce and the whole 9 yards, just like you had it back home.
Really?
Yes, they did.
So you didn't suffer so far as food is concerned?
No, we didn't suffer.
You didn't have to worry about K rations or anything else?
A little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
If you didn't like what they had, you take the K rations.
Really?
And they were good. The K rations were good.
Very good. Do you remember the name of your commander?
Offhand, I don't.
Or do you remember the name of the commander of the plane that you serviced?
No, I don't.
Or did you stick with one plane?
No.
Or in other words, you serviced whatever plane was assigned to you at the time?
Several planes, yeah.
7 planes?
Several.
Yeah. Okay. How many aircraft did you have at the base? Roughly? 10, 20, 30?
No, I wouldn't say that much. I think if we had about 10, we were doing good.
10?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 10 aircraft
Back
did
and forth,
the
yeah.
hauling back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, that must have been quite a job.
Well, it was nice. It was good.
Yeah, but you enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. Did there come a time when your service came to an end over there?
When the war was coming to an end,
Yeah.
they stopped and they told us we're going to ship you back. We're going to ship you to Europe.
Uh-huh.
They were supposed to send us back to Europe, back in '45. Then the last minute is, no, you're going home. You're not going to stay. You're not going to Europe.
Let me back up a bit.
Oh, yeah.
You say that you were defenseless when you were ferrying these supplies.
That's right.
You know, and of course you were lucky not to have run into any Jap
Yeah,
Zeros,
that's right.
Japanese Zeros. I wonder whether were you ever escorted by the Flying Tigers? You ever see any of the P-40s over
I
there?
saw them, but we wouldn't.
They never escorted you. Okay.
We really didn't need them.
And no?
We didn't need them.
Why do you think that you weren't attacked by the Japanese Air Force? They knew you were hauling supplies.
Oh, yeah, of course they did.
Do you have any idea why you felt so comfortable in not having to worry about being attacked?
Well, the only thing I can think about is the fact that maybe the Zeros they were keeping them busy by the Tigers, Flying Tigers were keeping them busy.
I see.
So they didn't have time to worry about us, they had to worry about themselves.
I see. Okay. All right. So the time came. Hello?
Yeah, well, that's everything.
Okay. So the time came when they told you that they're going to ship you to Europe, and then they said we're going to ship you home.
Yeah,
When was that?
back in December,
Of
they changed their mind.
44, 45?
45,
45.
45,
I see. Well, that's, did you, how did you, were you informed about the dropping of the atom bomb?
We heard about it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What did you think about it?
Well, to a point we felt bad for the people in Japan, but at the same time we felt good because the war had stopped.
What stopped?
Yeah,
Okay.
we felt we were good. We were happy about that. We were getting ready to go home. It was over.
I believe that was in August of 1945.
Yeah, yeah,
And you stayed there from August to December.
yeah,
Were you still ferrying supplies in that last 6 months?
yeah. Not too much though.
Uh-huh.
A lot of it was going over the Burma Road. When they built the Burma Road, they were going by trucks. We weren't flying them anymore.
I see. Did you actually see the Burma Road? Other
I
than
was on it.
You were on it?
I was on the Burma Road.
Because
Yeah,
you said you were flying over it.
yeah, well, I was on the Burma Road. We
Really?
went by trucks, yeah.
What did it look like?
Because I had
Describe
a-
it for me.
Well, it's like a country road in this country with 2 lanes, going
Uh-huh.
and coming. That's all. It wasn't too much.
Asphalt surface?
No, dirt surface.
Dirt surface?
We had dirt, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hard dirt.
How many trips did you take on the Burma Road?
I took 3.
3 trips. Where'd you go from?
We went from our base. I went from our base. I had to fly into another base that's nearer to the Burma Road. Then we picked the trucks up there.
Marvelous.
That's
Marvelous.
then from there we went with the trucks down that way.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And And why did you go on trucks when you were in the Air Force there? What?
Well, they probably figured it was cost-wise and it was safer to go by truck than by plane.
And what did you do on the trucks?
Nothing, just went with them.
You just went with them
Yeah,
to help supply them, or
yeah, unload and reload.
loading and
Yeah,
unloading?
yeah.
Okay. And when they shipped you back, where did they ship you back to?
To your regular base.
Where's that?
In Assam.
In where?
What we call Assam, that's the name of it.
Assam. Oh, that's in India.
Yeah, it's in
But when
India.
they shipped you back to the States,
Well, when I came back to the States, we went to, I went from India, we went to, I came back by boat, and we landed in a boat, we landed in, trying to figure out, one of the southern states.
so I came back directly to the United States.
I can't wait a minute, I remember now. I came back to the United States, I went to New York City.
You did?
We docked in New York City with the boats.
Okay.
Then we got off of that. And then from there, we took the train. They put it on trains, we went back to Fort Devens.
Fort Devens?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you like your boat trip?
Very good, it wasn't bad, it was good.
What kind of a ship was it?
Well, it was I don't know what kind
Troop
of...
ship?
Yeah, troops, yeah. It was nice.
How are your quarters?
Quarters were good.
Really?
Everybody had their individual beds.
So you had no complaints with regard to the services?
No. In fact, I count it as a blessing because I really learned a lot. I traveled a lot. I went all over. I went to Cairo and I went to Casablanca, I was able to go to. And in India, I went all over. I went to Bombay, I went to New Delhi, I went to Calcutta, went all over.
Really?
Yeah.
So you enjoyed your service?
Oh, yeah.
Just like I did?
Like the Taj Mahal and all that stuff.
You did see
yeah,
all that?
oh yeah. I made it a point to see it.
Uh-huh.
I figured as long as I'm here, I'm going to see it all.
Absolutely. Did you take many pictures?
I took a lot.
You
Too
did?
much, yes.
Yeah, we'd like to see some of them.
I will. I've got them someplace. I'm going to find them.
Marvelous. And when you came back, and when did you get back? 45?
December 9th, 1945.
Okay. And you didn't want to make a career out
No,
of the
I
service?
didn't want to know.
You didn't? Why not?
I was happy to be home. We were family and everybody, folks, and they wanted me to be here at home.
All right. What do you think about people joining the service today? Now, we have a volunteer army. There is no draft at the present time.
I know it.
And we do have a very capable volunteer army. What do you think about that?
Well, I think they're doing a good job. I think anybody that's young and doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, he should go into the service. Because after he gets out of the service, the government will help them to go to school.
I
At
see.
least they did at that time. I don't know about now.
Did you take advantage of the GI
Yes,
Bill?
yes. I went to Franklin Tech to become an electrician.
Okay.
I went down and got the certificate.
Okay.
That's what then I built my own business up with my brother Milan. We built our own electrical business up.
You feel that the service was responsible for you being
They
able to do that?
yes, financially they help us go to school and everything.
What do they pay you, other than tuition?
And they
They pay
paid
your
for the school. They
expenses?
paid all the expenses of the school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How about any compensation or any payment?
Well, the only thing at the time I got married too. At the same time, in 1947, I got married, and I think it was $60 a month they used to give us, besides everything else.
And was that sufficient?
Well, it was all right. It was a help.
Yeah.
And then when we had our first child, Richard,
Yeah.
then they went up from 60. I think it was $110. I don't remember the amount.
Yeah.
But they increased it.
So it was sufficient in
Oh,
terms
yeah,
of the
yeah.
dollars that you were getting in those
Because I
days.
was living with my parents,
I see.
so that was it helped out.
Okay. And how about your other two brothers? Did you see other two brothers when you got here?
Yes, they had come back.
They'd come back?
They had come back, yes.
Okay. Did they tell you about Paul Masoubian, after whom this post is named?
Well, after we come out of the service, what happened was we got word that I think his name was either a colonel or General Sartarian.
Yes.
He in Harvard Square at the
Yes.
school. He called all the veterans down there, all the Armenian veterans to come down there, and he told what his plan was to build like the veterans post.
Yes.
And at the time, that's the way we got interested in.
Uh-huh.
So then from there we came back home, and then they said they wanted to build the veterans post there. So we went, okay, we applied for it, we went in, and at the time Casey Berjoyan was involved with me.
Uh-huh.
He was basically the one that really pushed everything.
Uh-huh.
He helped a lot.
Now, General Zatarian met you in Cambridge, you say?
Yeah, he's the one that got us interested in he's talking about. He gave us a big spiel.
I
He
see.
put on a program down there
Uh-huh.
to what building a veterans post and what it's all about now.
Uh-huh. So you and Casey and some of the others
Oh yeah,
decided to push for Post 41.
41, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then after we got Post 41 going, then we decided we were going to name it. So then Casey knew Paul, Marshall Post, you know, the parents and all that.
Uh-huh.
And he had died. And not only that, but my brother Misak was with Paul. My brother Misak was in the barrack, in the building that Paul was in. My brother had left and Paul went in. And when that's the building that blew up.
Yes.
My brother had left. And
Yeah.
Paul. So then they all decided we're going to name it after Naimina. We're naming it after him. They did. And the mother and father, Marsupians, they were very happy and pleased that we were naming it after their son.
They were.
Yes.
Did you have a ceremony of naming the post and so forth? Did you have any special ceremony?
Before we came here, we used to go to Pythian Hall in Watertown.
Pythian Hall.
That's where the old Mason's building is now.
Oh, yeah.
Masonic building is on Church Street.
Right.
That's where we used to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Then after we have all our meetings there, then we decided we would buy our place. So we bought a place on Mount Auburn Street.
Uh-huh.
We bought a big house there. And for a while we had the veterans and the post there. Then we decided, well, let's get out of here. Let's sell this one and buy a place. So we sold that house and we bought this land over here and we built over here.
I see. Now, you're a pretty important officer of AMVETS. You're a Post 41 commander and a state commander.
Yeah, well, to a point, yeah.
You were twice commander of Post 41.
That's right.
When was that, Toro?
I don't remember. I can't remember the dates.
Yeah.
If I look it up, I can find it.
Okay. And you were state commander as well in 1966.
66, 65, 66.
Okay. How did that come about?
Well, I was involved with the John Corbett in Watertown used to be the veterans agent.
Uh-huh.
And I was very friendly with him. He was my lawyer. He was very friendly with him.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another. He got involved. And he says to me, you know, how would you like this and this? I said, fine, I'll go for it.
Mm-hmm. John Corbett?
John Corbett used to be a lawyer. Do you know?
C-O-R-B-E-T-T?
Yeah,
John Corbett.
used to be.
So was he involved with the veterans?
Oh, yes, he was a veterans agent.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I see.
he had an office in the town hall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So he got you involved and you got to be state commander?
Well, he got me involved in the veterans,
In the veterans?
really.
I see. I see.
And then when I became chief marshal twice for the town of Watertown.
Really?
Because of him, yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Well, for then he also sent me to, I went to New York, went to school, Civil Defense School, to
Mm-hmm.
get a certificate.
Okay. All right.
Then from that, then I became second vice commander for the state
Uh-huh.
and from the state, and then I stepped up from second to first and then commander.
Did you find that there were many politics involved in?
Oh, it's all politics. Don't
all
kid
politics?
yourself. Yes, it is.
Really?
It's not, yeah.
Really?
Well, some of it is with your merits. You got to have your merit. You got to be qualified, basically,
Uh-huh.
and you got to have a lot of votes out there for you.
I see.
That's how you got.
So how did an Armenian get to be state commander of of an organization known as the AMVETS of the Department of Massachusetts, which are
Well,
mostly run by the Irish?
I know they are, but the personality was part of it.
Really?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and having a lot of friends out there,
Uh-huh.
they take a liking to you, and that was it. The votes counted.
Uh-huh.
It didn't matter who you were.
Can you name any accomplishments that you had as state commander?
Well,
From where did you govern the AMVETS as
from the
state
State
commander?
House.
From the State House?
I had an office in the State House.
You did.
Yeah,
And you were active as state commander?
very active.
Uh-huh.
And because of that, I was able to go to Cape Kennedy,
Uh-huh.
went down there, and then went to Arizona.
Uh-huh.
Went out to Arizona where they have the Air Force Academy.
Oh, yes.
Went out there, they took us there.
Uh-huh.
And then they took us down to Cape Kennedy. They took us there through AMVETS because they wanted to show us the first moon shot that we're going to do. They were building it.
Wonderful.
And they showed us all that.
Wonderful. Well, let's just see how they're getting along with the parade here.
Fine, whatever.
All right, hold on just a minute. Okay, we're just, okay, now we're just recording the oral history of past Commander Toros Sabounjian. And during the time that we're taking his oral history, his family came in.
We're very proud of him.
Oh,
Very good. Good,
Hey,
good.
last night we got a call on our answering machine. He said that he was going to do this
Very good.
parade today, so we wanted to come and see him.
Okay, so now, Toro, give me who your family is here. Let's have their names.
Dead Kirkcote, he's my son, Dead Kirkcote, he's the priest.
Dead Kirkcote.
That's right.
Okay, he's a priest. And where is he a priest?
In,
Whitensville?
no, right here in
Metro West.
Metro West?
Metro
In
West.
Framingham?
Framingham.
Oh yeah, the new church in Framingham.
That's right,
Yeah.
he's in there.
Okay.
This is in Luann, that's my daughter here.
Your daughter?
That's my daughter here.
Okay, and she's in skin?
It is
Yes.
that's
All right, and she
And
is in
these are-
Framingham as well.
Yeah, and these are the grandchildren.
All right, and who's your grandchildren?
This is Mikey.
What's your
Michael
name?
what?
Michael Toros Sabounjian.
Michael Toros Sabounjian.
And
Okay,
And then,
and then who you have here?
who are you?
Don't whisper it. You gotta tell the camera.
Jenny
Jenny who?
Sabounjian.
Jenny Sabounjian. Okay, and you're the granddaughter of Toros.
Then,
All right.
then you have the old,
And what's your name?
My name's Arthur.
Arthur?
Arthur what?
Nina Sabounjian.
Arthur Minas Sabounjian.
that's right.
Okay,
That's how my whole family.
so this is your whole family.
That's right.
Okay,
All
well
right.
they're here to support you on the Memorial Day Parade.
Yeah.
And this is all going to be taken down in video.